The ocean does not keep secrets. It swallows them whole, burying them in its unfathomable depths. It guards its mysteries jealously, revealing only glimpses to those who dare to look. Welcome to Whispers in the Shadows. Tonight we sail into the unknown. On a cold December day in 1872, the Atlantic held one of its greatest mysteries, a riddle wrapped in chilling circumstances. It was a day like any other, yet destined to become etched in maritime lore. A thick grey fog blurred the line between sea and sky, creating an ethereal, almost dreamlike landscape. Visibility was low, the world reduced to shades of grey, amplifying the sense of isolation. Out of this mist, a ship appeared, seemingly out of nowhere, a silent spectre materializing from the fog-laden horizon. A two-masted brigantine, drifting aimlessly without direction or purpose. A ghost ship adrift on the vast expanse of the ocean. Its sails were tattered, flapping like broken wings, whispering tales of a struggle against the elements, or perhaps something far more sinister. There was an unnatural silence, a stillness that defied the usual sounds of a ship at sea. A profound emptiness that seemed to absorb all sound, leaving only the echo of unanswered questions. The air itself felt heavy, pregnant with unspoken dread. This was no ordinary vessel. This was something else entirely. It was a ship without a master, a crew devoid of the human presence that should have been its lifeblood, or a single living soul, an eerie tableau of abandonment. The men aboard the nearby DEI Gratia watched with unease, their faces etched with concern and a growing sense of foreboding. They hailed it, but no answer came, only the mocking silence of the empty decks, only the creak of wood and the sigh of wind, a mournful symphony of desolation. The ship looked wrong, too quiet, too still. It was as if time itself had stopped aboard. It was a vessel that had seen something terrible, something unspeakable. Something that had scoured it clean of human life, leaving behind only echoes and unanswered questions. Imagine the chill in the air, biting at your skin, the taste of salt, a constant reminder of the vast, indifferent ocean surrounding you, and the Mary Celeste emerging from the fog like an apparition, a phantom ship sailing on a sea of mystery. It was not a wreck. It was seaworthy, well-stocked and utterly empty. A baffling paradox. The sight would send a shiver down the spine of any sailor, a primal fear of the unknown awakened in their hearts. A ship needs a crew, a captain, a purpose. This ship had none, only the lingering ghost of what once was. It was a floating tomb, a vessel of secrets adrift on the waves, a silent testament to an event with no witnesses and no explanation, a maritime enigma that continues to captivate and confound. The mystery of the Mary Celeste is not just about a lost crew, it's about the unknown, the unknowable, the terrifying possibilities that lurk beneath the surface of our understanding. What could make 10 people vanish from a seaworthy ship, leaving everything behind? Their belongings, their hopes, their very lives seemingly erased without a trace. The silence of the Mary Celeste was not an absence of noise. It was a presence, a palpable weight of unanswered questions and lingering dread. A heavy, lingering question that has echoed through maritime history for over a century, a haunting melody of mystery that refuses to fade. The ocean held the answer, locked within its watery embrace, and the ocean does not speak, at least not in a language we can readily understand. The Mary Celeste drifted on, a ghost ship in the fog, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden beneath the waves. Its story was just beginning, a legend in the making, a puzzle that would continue to fascinate and perplex generations to come. Every voyage begins with hope, a promise of new horizons and successful returns. The allure of the sea has always captivated humanity, driving us to explore the unknown, to seek fortune, and to connect with distant lands. On November 7th, 1872, the Mary Celeste was full of it, hope, ambition, and the promise of a profitable journey. The ship sat in New York Harbor, a hive of maritime activity, preparing to cross the vast Atlantic to Genoa, Italy. The air was thick with anticipation, the sounds of dock workers and sailors filling the bustling port. Its cargo, 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol, a valuable, volatile load carefully stowed in the ship's hold. Each barrel represented potential profit, a tangible reward for a successful crossing. At the helm was Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs, a respected mariner, known for his skill, experience, and unwavering dedication to the sea. He was a man of the sea, trusted by his peers and admired by his crew. He was joined by his wife Sarah and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, eager to share in the adventure and experience the wonders of the world. For them, this was a family adventure, a chance to create lasting memories, not just a commercial voyage. It was a testament to their bond, a shared experience that would forever connect them to the sea. The crew, 7 hand-picked, experienced sailors, each a master of their craft, ready to face the challenges of the open ocean. They were the backbone of the ship, the engine that propelled it forward. There was no sign of trouble, no hint of the darkness ahead, only the promise of fair winds and a smooth crossing. The sea was calm, the sky clear, and the future seemed bright. The ship sailed out under a clear sky, leaving behind the familiar sights of New York Harbor and setting course for the vast expanse of the Atlantic. The first week at sea was uneventful, according to the log, a period of calm seas and steady progress. Captain Briggs made daily entries, routine, steady, normal, documenting the ship's position, weather conditions, and any notable events. They were making good time. The crew was in good spirits, working together seamlessly to navigate the ship across the ocean. The final log entry, November 25th, 1872, 5 a.m., just off the Azores, a seemingly ordinary notation that would soon become a haunting enigma. After that, nothing. Silence descends. The logbook was left open, the slate wiped clean, as if time itself had stopped aboard the Mary Celeste. The official record of the Mary Celeste simply stops, leaving a void of unanswered questions and endless speculation. 10 people vanished into silence, leaving behind no trace, no explanation, only an enduring mystery, leaving the world to wonder what happened next, a question that continues to haunt the maritime world to this day. 10 days after the final log entry, silence descended upon the Mary Celeste. The last words penned in the ship's log offered no clue, no hint of the impending mystery. The pages remained still, holding their secrets close. Another ship, the DEI Gracia, under full sail, cut through the waves in the same vast expanse of ocean. The crew, unaware of the drama that had unfolded, continued their voyage, their destination far on the horizon. Captain David Morehouse, a seasoned mariner and, as fate would have it, a friend of Captain Briggs, was at the helm of the DEI Gracia. He scanned the horizon, ever vigilant, his experienced eyes searching for any sign of trouble or opportunity. When his lookout, perched high in the crow's nest, shouted down, reporting a vessel adrift, concern immediately rippled through the DEI Gracia. Morehouse was deeply concerned. A ship adrift at sea was a sign of potential disaster, a call for help in the vast emptiness of the ocean. As they drew closer, the shape of the distant vessel began to take form, revealing details that sent a chill down the spines of the DEI Gracia's crew. With growing unease, Captain Morehouse recognized the Mary Celeste, but something was terribly wrong. An unsettling stillness hung about the ship, an unnatural silence that spoke volumes. The ship was yawing erratically, sails set haphazardly, some torn and flapping wildly in the wind, as if struggling against an unseen force. Morehouse, his voice filled with urgency, hailed the ship repeatedly, hoping for a response, any sign of life. No reply came back across the water, only silence. With a mix of apprehension and duty, he ordered his first mate, Oliver DeVoe, a man of courage and experience, and 2 seasoned sailors, to launch a small boat and investigate the mysterious vessel. The silence was absolute, broken only by the creaking of the Mary Celeste and the lapping of waves against her hull as they cautiously boarded the deserted ship. The deck was wet with sea spray. The ship's wheels spun freely in the breeze, as if mocking their arrival, offering no guidance, no control. The sails were in disarray, a chaotic mess of canvas and rope, a testament to the unseen events that had transpired. Yet, despite the surface chaos, the ship itself was in remarkably good condition, structurally sound and seaworthy. There were no signs of struggle, No evidence of a violent storm, no indication of any disaster that could explain the absence of the crew. It was as if the entire crew had simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind only their possessions and the haunting silence of an empty ship. Below deck, the cargo hold was secure and largely intact, the goods undisturbed by any apparent intrusion. Upon closer inspection, only 9 barrels of the ship's cargo were found to be empty, an anomaly that added another layer to the unfolding mystery. The crew's quarters were surprisingly tidy, their personal belongings untouched, as if they had planned to return at any moment. Food and fresh water, enough to sustain the crew for at least 6 months, remained untouched in the ship's stores. The Mary Celeste was fully provisioned and ready to continue its voyage, a vessel prepared for any eventuality, except for the crucial element, its missing crew, the souls who should have been guiding her across the ocean. It was a ship adrift in time, a vessel waiting for the return of people who, for reasons unknown, would never grace her decks again. The mystery surrounding the Mary Celeste deepened with every step taken on her decks, with every corner explored, with every unanswered question that arose. The ghost ship, the Mary Celeste, had truly earned its haunting name, forever etched in maritime lore as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the sea. The captain's cabin was a scene frozen in time. Sarah Briggs's sewing machine sat with a garment under its needle. Sophia's toys were scattered on the bed. The logbook lay open, the last entry routine. Captain Briggs's sword rested untouched, a sign that violence was unlikely. No blood, no struggle, only peace and order. The ship's papers, chronometer, sextant and lifeboat were missing. This suggested a deliberate, orderly evacuation. The crew had chosen to leave, but why? Some theorize fear of an explosion from leaking alcohol forced them off. The unbroken seal of calm aboard the Mary Celeste remains the most confounding clue. Who vanished from the Mary Celeste? Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah and daughter Sophia, a family confident in their ship. The crew first mate Albert Richardson, second mate Andrew Gilling, steward Edward Head and 4 German sailors. All were experienced with good reputations. Mutiny or violence seemed unthinkable, especially with a woman and child aboard. These were not just names, they were lives, hopes and futures lost at sea. Their disappearance turned a maritime puzzle into a human tragedy. 10 souls etched into history not for what they did, but for what happened to them. They sailed from New York into legend, leaving grieving families and a haunting question. What fate befell these 10 people on the vast, empty ocean? The Mary Celeste's greatest mystery is not the ship, but the missing lives. Their story endures because it remains unsolved. The DEI Gratia's men searched the Mary Celeste for answers. The rigging was in disarray. A sounding rod lay on deck, suggesting the crew checked for leaks. 3.5 feet of water was in the hold, not enough to sink her. One pump was disassembled, perhaps being repaired. Open hatches hinted at attempts to ventilate alcohol fumes. The missing lifeboat confirmed the crew left intentionally. The nearest land was hundreds of miles away. The lifeboat was never found. The clues pointed to fear and a desperate decision, but not to the crew's fate. When logic fails, imagination takes over. Theories of murder, mutiny and monsters swirled around the Mary Celeste. Some accused the DEI Gratia's crew of foul play, quickly dismissed for lack of evidence. Mutiny was unlikely. The alcohol was undrinkable and the crew had good reputations. No signs of violence, only eerie calm. Wild tales of sea monsters and the supernatural took hold, fueled by fiction and fear. But the most likely explanation remains a mix of human error and the sea's unforgiving power. The truth, however, remains elusive. The Mary Celeste was brought to Gibraltar, where a court investigated the mystery. The prosecutors suspected foul play, but evidence was lacking. Reddish stains proved to be rust, not blood. The ship was seaworthy, the cargo mostly intact, the crew's belongings undisturbed. The court considered an explosion from alcohol fumes as the most credible theory. In the end, no crime was proven. The crew of the DEI Gratia was praised, but suspicion lingered. The official verdict, unsolved. The fate of the Mary Celeste and her crew remains a mystery. The Mary Celeste's story did not end in Gibraltar. The ship changed hands 17 times, its reputation cursed. Its final captain ran it aground in Haiti, trying to destroy it for insurance. But the legend outlived the ship. The Mary Celeste became the archetype of the ghost ship, a timeless mystery. The unanswered question, what really happened, keeps the story alive. The 10 souls who vanished took the truth with them. Their silence haunts us still. The Mary Celeste drifts on, not in the sea, but in our imagination. The ocean holds the secret, and the ocean does not speak. Thank you for sailing with us through this haunting mystery. If this story intrigued you, subscribe to Whispers in the Shadows for more true crime and unsolved disappearances. Until next time, remember, not all who vanish are forgotten.